Hey everyone, on this, of course, again, beautiful Thursday. It's nice and sunny here in Florida. Sorry guys for being late. We we started talking about traveling and about Europe and it's like, yeah, there's I was just saying how beautiful the United States is, and I traveled all over this country and big parts of Europe, but I wouldn't mind to take a long trip all across the United States again. Some days that will come again.
Mhm.
Okay, my name, if you didn't know that yet, is Toni Weel. We have with us Gary Parent and Sara from Virtuous Unicorns. Katie could not be with us. She is probably traveling. So we wish her happy and safe travels wherever she goes. And Gary was telling us about his plans to go to Europe with a music band to Rome, of all places, one of the places I haven't been. Absolutely beautiful. I've seen pictures. My family took a lot of pictures there. I wouldn't mind seeing that city someday. Who knows? In the future. Today we are going to talk again because we weren't done yet, last week with talking about food and emotions and mentally. And I see that I kind of skipped over probably last week about the part of under eating and dieting. And now, sometimes I wonder, should I do a little bit more introductions for all the people who have no clue who we are? And so let's do that. We are healing, actually, you could say, with vegan, raw vegan foods and mostly fruits. And we all learned from Dr. Morse in Florida. He always says, with any symptom or disease, fruit, berries, and melons. And I personally, and I think all of us, experienced how correct he was with that, because this really was, for me, the only thing that helped me heal. And I think we all have amazing results because of his teachings. So, and I like what natural hygiene is teaching and what we talked about last week and again today, because we didn't finish this part of it. Is about yeah, it was nutrition's mind and the emotions, and there is so much to learn, to understand, and to unlearn. And I feel that I learn something every week. I learn from the people we have here on the podcast. And yeah, so let's dive in this again. And I saw one thing, and it was because I saw a post this morning, and that was about a young woman who passed away after she went to Bali, and she was vegan, raw vegan, and fruitarian. And of course, the diet, her fruit diet, got the blame. Nobody blames it when they die from the pizzas and the pastas, etc. But oh my, if somebody is on a fruit diet and dies, then everyone gears up to blame the eating the fruit, which is crazy. But
Tony,
she,
yep. I was going to say,
yeah,
I want to chime in on that too before you move on.
go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, is she the one that they didn't do an autopsy on, though?
Yeah, she was the one who is anorexic and had mental
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
And so in the part of what we went over last week, and I feel we didn't really get into this, is like under eating and dieting. And I have been talking to people who are wasting away, and they seem to do everything right, but then when I when I find out how much they are actually eating, and I was like, my gosh, not even a bird could live on that. And yeah, if you don't get any nutrition in and you think that a handful of grapes is a meal, then you don't do well, for yourself. We have
Right.
to eat enough, and it's not maintenance. It's not only about eating fruit. Fruit is great for detoxing, only fruit, but you have to find a balance. And you have to add, and for some, I mean, I cannot eat nuts and seeds because I get symptoms right back, or high fats. But I definitely can eat the soft leafy greens and lettuces and cherry tomatoes and cucumbers and zucchinis. So that is why we have this whole list with mucusless foods that I often promote, because I think that is the key in that list. And I think I even have it in the description, the link to it. It's a PDF, it's easy to follow. But yes, you have always to realize you need to eat enough. And my granddaughter, when she was in her early teens, was diagnosed with orthorexia. It's not anorexia, it's orthorexia. And what is orthorexia? They described it back then. She's 24 now, so but this was in her early teens. They described it then as eating too healthy. So she was really only wanted to eat salads, and yes, she lost a lot of weight. She was really, really, really skinny. So, but that was, it got a name, and now it's like you have a label then, because oh yeah, you keep this for life, and it's always with you, and it is a mental issue, and it doesn't mean that you're crazy. It's just mean, balance. And I'm not going to say how to do it, but she was absolutely vegan. And that what she went through back then and her ideas about food that actually made me look into food completely differently. And this is where I started to eat. Well, I had been vegan before, but going into the raw vegan part, and but for me, it was I ate way too many nuts and seeds and avocado and coconut. I think that was more than half of my diet. So that was absolutely not balanced. And but there, and we talk about diet, and I still don't like that word. And I was actually going to look up, can we use, isn't there another word for diet? It's like diet. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that under eating part, because the information about that lady who passed away, that was last year, December. And it keeps going around and around on the internet. It shows up in fruitarian groups, in vegan groups, even the one on the natural hygiene group, and Lauren Whiteman Ferris, or Ferris Whiteman. She had a big article about explaining what had been going on. But yes, her family never really shared what exactly she passed away of. But I can see, it's like if you never eat and you don't eat enough, then, you know. So yeah, if you wanted to say anything to it, Sarah?
Yeah, I was also going to say too, I mean, she was in a third world country as well too. I mean, we don't know what she was exposed to, what water she was drinking, and all those different things like that. And without an autopsy, it's very hard to really say. But yeah, her diet is what's obviously going to get the brunt of it. But
Yeah, and
it's just too many things we don't know. But
true.
yeah,
Yeah, but what Lauren mentioned is that it's not even known if she went to a hospital, if she got an IV, that could have
right.
killed you. And so there are, she could have gotten what is it, pharmaceuticals, and
Anything.
that just made it worse. So we
We
can
just don't
live
know.
without, yeah, we
Yeah.
can live without food and low, what is it, low calories for a long time.
Yep.
I mean, I've been on 500 calories somewhere in my 20s because I wanted to lose weight. And well, I lost the weight, but I can't say I was the healthiest or most energetic person around, so I had to stop that.
Well,
'Cause
I do 2 mangoes a day. I eat as many grapes as I want throughout the day. I have 32 ounces of orange juice, and I drink a gallon of distilled water that I make every day. I've been doing this for 4 months now. I did have watermelon when I didn't have mango. And I have never felt better. I have never had more energy. I've not slept better. Everything. And like, will I continue on this exact way? We'll see. But I just listen to my body, and I've already had like a very decent, lifestyle in the first place, and then I just upped the game. Cut out the sweet potatoes and cut out the, starchy stuff, and just went straight full fruit for the whole summer.
yeah.
And that's why I was also out too. I was buying more mangoes.
Mm.
It's not even really mango season, is it?
Well, mango season for the Ket, I think it's KEITT, they run until December. So we just get them
Oh,
from Peru and Costa Rica right now.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they taste good.
Oh, they're so good right now.
Oh,
I
oh,
paid as much as $5 for one the other day, but I've been finding them for about 99 cents all the way to $2.50.
okay. So you didn't, that's not organic.
Yeah, the ones I got today are organic.
Oh.
But I don't always hit organic, so just whatever I can find.
Yeah, when I see prices of $5 for one, it's like with an avocado was like $3.50 for one avocado. I was like, nope.
Yeah. I mean, it was as big as like probably half my head though. They were huge. So let's put it that way. I had one that day.
Mm.
Yeah. Did
Very
you want to
good.
say something, Gary?
I don't remember what it was now. Because I'm listening, so it kind of went
Okay.
away. But there is no perfect diet. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. Who said that it was her diet that took her life? The fruit diet or whatever she was on. Who made that claim? Was it the American Medical Association?
The news, it gets into the news, and then it
Yes.
is like fruitarian diet, and then it
Right.
goes all to that the fruitarians don't have enough nutrients, and I still want to believe that we can live on fruits only. I mean, it's being said that we need the soft leafy greens, and I can see that because, maybe the fruit doesn't have the nutrients it once had, 100 years or 50 years back.
So what I was going to say is obviously corporate America, the food manufacturers don't want people eating natural things like fruit and berries and melons, and I mean they're trying everything they can to get rid of it. But the very system that said that that was what took her life is the very system that says diet doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So does diet matter? We know it matters, but that's not what they're saying until somebody. If you die on the standard American diet, that's fine. But if you're outside their little model where you're not buying their processed foods, then that's what killed you was that because you wasn't eating their scientifically proven to be good for you, all approved whether you're sick or healthy. It's all approved by the FDA.
Right.
Exactly. And when
And
all those runners pass away, nobody
yeah,
says anything about that.
right. They say it's from the running.
Yeah.
They
No,
don't
actually,
say
they
that.
don't say it's from the running. They say
Oh,
like,
they
oh, well,
don't.
maybe he had like
Oh,
something
yeah.
wrong with the aorta or something like that. No, I mean it's yeah. Like I
That's
I
like
forbid my husband from running. I was like, you can walk, but if I catch you out there running, I'm gonna chase you down.
So
no
you,
tripping.
yeah, then you have to run.
Yeah.
Well, I can chase him
So
down, but I won't run.
Okay, you
I'll
you you
su
get your
I'll super
motorcycle.
fast walk. Yeah, that too.
and and the way to look at it is right now, by the American Medical Association's own words, 3/4 of America is in a chronic state of dis-ease.
You said 3/4. I think it's a lot more than that,
Well,
Gary.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, you know, I mean, they admit that American Medical Association admits that they are responsible for 1.2 million deaths a year from misdiagnosed, from overdose, from over medicating. It's crazy, and that's all acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, people go, yeah, well, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And you know, consciousness. I was talking about some of my videos the other day. We were not conscious of this reality until we took our first breath. So breath is consciousness. And if we go to the standard American diet, it suppresses our ability for our body to generate the energy that is supposed to be generating. And the lower it gets, the lower our consciousness gets. And then we have brain fog, and we have, you know, things like forgetfulness and dementia and Alzheimer's. These are all because people are under stress, which we just did a show on high cortisol. So as the cortisol goes up, our consciousness goes down because we're not breathing properly. And you can have like I said, there is no perfect diet. You have to listen to your body. I had a guy on the detox lifestyle with Jamie and the Dreamers the other day, and he said, well, I can't have sugar because I had massive head injury and it makes me feel bad. I said, so I wrote and I said, well, if you're eating something that makes you feel bad, stop eating it. And don't try to get over to that. Just leave it for now and do something different. And as your body heals, you may be able to go back to some natural uh, type sugars if you want to do the master cleanse. You don't even have to use it in it. You can just use lemon water with a little pinch of salt. Uh, so these are the things, you know, that are helping to cleanse the body. But you were right, Toni, when you said fruit is a cleanser. It's not a builder. It's a cleanser. And we need a certain amount to keep the body cleansed internally. We spend all this money on the external stuff, and nobody ever talks about cleaning the internal body. And all the stuff you're washing off on the outside that stinks comes from the inside. So when you clean the internal body, the external body is more balanced. It doesn't have that smell. And you can have, let's just use armpit for an example. You can have one armpit that smells really bad and not as bad on the other side because, you know, the body's split down the middle. So this half is detoxing and this half is detoxing. So you can get congested on one side of your body and not the other. You know, your diaphragm, it has two sides. You can have paralysis or next to paralysis on one side of your diaphragm, not the other, which means that side is suffering from lack of oxygen. It's all rebuildable. And those are the things that we're not being taught, that they're all rebuildable. So nourishment is, because we run into this because we're doing this detox lifestyle right now, which we will continue to do. We only eat during the gigs. And we started not doing that. We started just detoxing right through. But you need at least one meal and maybe some broth or some type of like a carrot juice or, you know, some type of juice or a soup on the days of the show. So if we have 3 shows, which we have coming up, okay, we'll be eating at least one meal each day. And then after the shows are over, we go back to straight detox. And we've been doing that for about 50 days now, I guess. I probably lost, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 pounds. And Amy and Jody have been losing too. I mean, they're almost at their goal. I've got a little bit more to go, but my body seems to be, and this is another thing, when you're detoxing, your body can hit plateaus. And most of those plateaus are toxins that are trapped in the body somewhere. And the body is not strong enough yet to let go of those toxins. So you hit this plateau, especially when you get down to the last 5 or 10 pounds. Well, the body is smart enough to know that is too dangerous and we can't release it yet because the body's not strong enough. You have to maintain what you're doing. You can experiment with it a little bit, but when the body's strong enough, that last 5 to 10 pounds will go. And it'll go really quick. I'm bouncing around 180, 175. No, I haven't been done 175 yet. But anyway, right in that range. I don't seem to be able to get past 178. That's what I was at. I feel great, though. I have been, when I'm helping people, which I am right now with a construction project, sometimes I get lightheaded because I'm not eating enough. And this goes back to being undernourished. So all I have to do is have something, whether it's a juice or a broth or something physical to eat, and that won't happen when I'm on the job, just like it was happening to them during the shows. So we're trying to develop that lifestyle where we eat. We're very conscious of what we eat. But to give us the strength to get us through whatever physical thing we have to do. And then we just go back to detoxing to get to our weight. But this is my issue with detoxing. Most people detox and they suffer through for 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, whatever. And they just can't wait to get back to the food that made them overweight or made them ill. Well, this lifestyle program is about maintaining your weight after you've done your detox, which will involve detox also. You may eat 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day. You have to be conscious of how many calories are in it. And I know you guys know this, but maybe some people in the audience do not know. A calorie is a unit of energy. If you're eating 3,000 calories a day and you're only burning 2,000, the body's going to store that because it doesn't know when it's going to eat again, even though you know the body is in a process, especially if you're in fight or flight, okay? It's starting to pack all that stuff on, so that's why you gain weight. If you do constantly 3,000 calories and you're burning 2, well, that 1,000 calories, it's going to start storing that, and it's going to store it a lot of times in fat. So, and there are usually some toxins in there because of, science can't make enough odorless, tasteless chemicals to put in your food that either makes you addicted or starts to break your body down in some way. So those are the things we have to watch for and be careful of, is what we're eating. We had a matter of fact, it was a really big meal for us last night. And it was all veggies, and I mean, it was delicious. I think it was, and we had ice cream. Now, before you panic and go ice cream, it was frozen cherries, mixed berries. There was a banana that wasn't frozen, and kiwi, I think. And you just put it in a blender, and you blend it, and then you take that and you put it in the freezer and freeze it, and then you re-blend it, and you have ice cream. But you know everything that's in it. I mean, it's all natural.
Yeah.
And it
Now,
is,
nowadays we call that nice cream.
yes. So the one we had the first time was papaya, and we put a little bit of a real high end. I have some real high end cocoa, uh, and we put a little bit of cocoa in with the papaya. Oh my God, is that ice cream good? Oh shoot, that was delicious. And what's in it? Cocoa and papaya. Nothing else. So there are many things that we can do that are super low calorie that we can enjoy, to get the old taste buds uh, jazzed up. We look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Satisfied. I always make sure I always have some frozen fruit in the freezer. So it's quite easy to make that nice cream. I still love the frozen bananas. That's my top one. Now, when you mentioned with the calories, it depends on what kind of calorie. I mean, you have the calories coming from fats that will absolutely not help you heal. And so be aware. Anyway, God, we already half an hour in. Let's get back to the natural hygiene part about food and emotions. If that's okay with you guys.
Yes.
Okay, if you're ready for that, let me see if I can find where did I do the share? Oh, there's the share button now. I think it is this one. Yeah. Okay. Give me a second, Gary. And Sarah. That's the one I need. I want to read a short part about the undereater, because I don't think we really touched on that last week. And it's like the overeater, the compulsive dieter or undereater also usually suffers from emotional or psychological problems. The phenomenon of anorexia nervosa dieting to the point of starvation has become an increasingly common problem, especially among young women. Whereas overeating often comes from a desire to reward oneself, undereating is often an attempt to punish oneself or the people living around the undereater, particularly the parents. By withholding needed food, the undereater punishes himself for either real or imagined personal shortcomings. I don't believe in imagined. Undereating becomes a method of punishing the parents in particular because the refusal of food is a rejection of the most basic child-parent relationship, that of nurturing. I have to say that one of my clients she was in her 30s when she became, when she had anorexia. So I don't think that always comes up, but yeah, I can see where it always goes back to certain types of trauma. And isn't that the case with pretty much all the emotions that we have, emotional eating with everything? Okay, of course, abstaining from adequate food intake to the point of starvation is the extreme result of an emotional disturbance. It should be pointed out that controlled fasting undertaken for reasons of health is not the same as an erratic and prolonged nutrient deficient or calorie poor diet. Um, here's another part. I was going to say something else, but also, although not so extreme as anorexia nervosa, millions of Americans regularly place themselves on diets that are trumpeted in the latest magazines and paperbacks or in my mimeographed office newsletter. Mimeographed. Often these self-prescribed diets are so poor in vital nutrients and high in empty calories that they cause serious damage to the kidneys, liver, stomach, etc. As a consequence, the mania for dieting among Americans is creating a nation of mental and emotional misfits. I want to mention something too that I noticed last Saturday. Every Saturday I go to the farmers market, and there's a little place where we with a terrace where we drink tea, and just it's nice. It's nice to watch people. And I noticed that there are less um obese obese people. Did you guys notice that too? That there is a trend in people are not as overweight as what we saw a few years ago, or maybe even last year, or maybe are people getting more conscious with their eating?
I believe they are. It's going
Yeah.
to create the greatest shift. The world, to me, the world is splitting right now, and there'll be those that are totally connected and addicted to the Matrix, and there'll be a whole branch of people that spin off from that, and they'll have to learn how to support themselves with gardens, and and that is extremely possible. You'll always be hassled by the Matrix because they want everybody under their umbrella. Because the more of them, the more people they get, the more power they have to take over land and build banks and control the food. Because they don't want people eating light food, well, food with light in it, like fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables, because it raises your consciousness, your awareness. You become an observer, and you're looking around, and they don't want that. They want nose to the grindstone. You know, you're supposed to work till they're trying to make it, I guess, now 70. You're supposed to work till you're 70 years old. And this just doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're trying to squeeze every last drop out of you. It appears that way anyway. They're trying to squeeze every last drop of energy they have out of your body. And when you're done, you're shift off the planet. And I just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Life should not be controlled like that, where you have chips in your and all this stuff. And there's a whole new vaccine program coming out. And so anyway,
Yeah, I think we're just raising our frequencies, and the higher you raise your frequency, the more you're going to see people of your same frequency, because as your frequency raises, you can't really see I mean, you can see the lower frequencies and stuff like that, but it's like you don't interact with them as much anymore. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but
right.
yeah,
And
I'm definitely seeing all those changes too. And I'm even seeing it in people that I didn't realize that would happen. But it's like the stronger and higher I'm raising my own frequency, I don't know if I'm pulling people with me, or if it's just they're seeing the light too and they're moving. I don't know.
yeah, it's magnetic pull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since we've been doing this detox, I mean, almost the whole neighborhood is doing it now.
Yeah.
And and because they see the results.
Mm-hmm.
People want
Live by
results.
example.
Yeah, they see the results. They just don't know how to get it because there's no real information out there. You got to be an explorer, and that's what we're doing. We're exploring. We tried to detox and have the band play. Well, they couldn't do it. So we're adjusting all the time, and we're still adjusting, even though it's been 50 days,
Yeah.
uh, or only 50 days, I should say. And there's tough times there,
Mm-hmm.
but
And it depends on what you're detoxing too. I mean, I live a very active lifestyle every single day. And, a lot of my work is, physically hard. And, I told you what I eat and I'm fine. But there are certain days where it's like, oh, I think my sodium might be a little low. So I just add a little bit of the salt to my drink, or
yep,
I sprinkle it under my tongue. Or if I feel, whatever, then I'll have another mango, more watermelon, more grapes, or whatever. I mean, I just keep adding to it. And the other day, my mom, of all people, she goes, "Where are you getting your electrolytes?" And I just looked at her like, "For real?" And then she's like, "Well, are you like getting them from like a packet or something?" And I was like, "Ma, come on." I mean, all I eat is oranges and grapes and stuff. So, I mean, there it is. And so, and then of course, the protein myth. But I this might be wrong, and please correct me if I am wrong how I'm wording it. But protein, it's like people eat meat, and then your people have to digest the meat in order to get to the amino acid. Why don't we just cut out the digestion of the meat and go straight and get the amino acid from the fruits?
Yeah, the proteins from the meat needs to be converted into amino acids, and out of the amino acids, the body converts it to usable proteins.
Exactly.
And I think
So
that is an amazing system.
okay, right? I mean, it's like saying go get B12. Well, I can only get B12 if I eat an animal. Well, how did the animal get the B12? Oh, from eating the dirt and the grass. So why don't you just not wash your fruits and veggies so well? Maybe you'll get the B12 too that way, or yeah. And then people want to waste all their energy in digestion. And when you're not constantly digesting, your body's healing. And it's amazing too, like what Gary was talking about with the breath work, and then even with this, it works on your mental health as well too.
Mhm.
And yeah, when you're in detox, like some weird stuff can come out in your thoughts and stuff, but you just kind of work through them. And your breath work, your grounding, your sunlight, your
Mhm.
food, all of that works on your mental health. And we have a mental health problem in this world, not so many other problems, but yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
all relates.
Yeah, the
yeah,
finding. Oh, sorry, Gary, go ahead.
those are all the things we're not taught to do. We're not taught to breathe. We're not taught to hydrate properly. We're not taught to uh, what to consume, how much to consume. There's all these, and it's so variable. I mean, you can go on and look up your height and your weight and your age, and it will say this is how many calories you should have in a day. Well, it depends on, if you're a steel worker or you're a groundskeeper or you're sitting at a desk at a typewriter all day long or a computer all day long and you're just sitting there. Well, that depends how your metabolism is, how quick you metabolize things, uh, and what that's doing to the body as far as congestion is going. So they all require different levels of calories. And again, we already talked about that. Where are you getting your calories, and are you consuming more calories than you're burning? And in today's world, especially fast food, I don't know if you ever heard of the Heart Attack Grill in Vegas, but I think they're I think their lowest calorie burger is around 5,000 calories.
Oh my God.
And they have their waitresses are dressed in uh, nursing outfits with the little hat and all that stuff. And they're speaking of, the runners that die, right? Because two of them have died that were on the cover of Runner magazine. One was 56 years old when he died, and the other one was 57. And they were the poster uh, men, I guess you'd say, for Runner magazine. Well, a Heart Attack Grill had really people that weighed around 400 or 500 pounds. That was their uh, poster man. And two of those people have died, and they had them cremated, and their ashes are in the restaurant.
Oh God.
That is so
And
so
yeah,
backwards.
yeah. And if you don't eat, like, I think 23,000 calories is their largest meal. And if you can't eat it all, then they put you up on this thing and you bend over and they spank you with a board like they use in college for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Hmm.
That is really sick.
You
Yeah.
know what
Oh,
I've been doing
yeah.
with my husband is we just keep going around places, and like I'm a fan of Trader Joe's for certain things, like their orange juice, and I even get my son's almond milk there and things like that.
Hmm.
But if you go into their frozen food section and you already have the mindset of most people, it's Trader Joe's should be non-GMO, even if it's not organic, it's supposed to be kind of like a higher whatever. So people are in there just buying things left and right. And my husband wanted this thing called, I guess, bulgogi or something like that. So I looked at it and I think it was 18 grams of fat, but it was per serving and it was times four. There was four servings in the container and it wasn't even that big.
Yeah.
And so I was like, he's like, it's 18 grams of fat. And I said, no, 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 times four. And then so like we've just been going around and looking at everything. And I cannot even believe, like, he used to love this hot dog at Costco, 35 grams of fat for a
Wow.
hot dog, like one hot dog. And I'm just blown away. And even I think we talked about this too, like the Chick-fil-A sauce was 30 grams of fat for one little container. And like people will go through four of those containers easy with a
Hmm.
meal.
Hmm.
And it's just all the stuff that's hidden that we just can't see. And even though we preach the fruit and the veggies and things like that, even if you're not ready for that step yet, it's just taking your own health into your hands and not just being complacent about it and looking at the labels and reading the stuff in there. Because even if you think you're getting something good, you're thinking, oh, it's just a hot dog. No, 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 it's not just a hot dog. So, I mean, yeah, that's probably a very poor example.
Well,
Hot dogs are
yeah,
usually loaded with lots of stuff.
Oh yeah, they are, and they have a lot of soy in them now,
Yes, they
and
do.
that's the highest form of estrogen.
They do. And, so like we have like 4 or 5 meals that my husband circles around over and over again. And if he ever wants to deviate from it, I'm like, we have to go look. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. And it is. It's like it's a constant battle of what you would call the matrix of this
Yeah.
and that. And like you've talked before too, Gary, they're trying to isolate one of the taste buds on our tongues. And if
Hmm.
they can isolate that, then they can make us addicted to something else.
That's right.
And it's
Yep.
just like, yeah. And to this day, even after everything I've been through and all this other stuff, you want to know the one thing that I still think about eating, and so I know for a fact there's something in there, is those little tiny potatoes from Taco Bell. I'm
Oh.
like, of all things, really? The Taco Bell potato?
Hmm.
I'm like, so what is in that potato?
Yeah. For me, it's sour cream and onion Lay's potato chips.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I haven't had them in a long time, but every time I walk by the potato chip aisle, they're calling me over.
Yeah,
I don't go, but I mean the fact that
there's just something in there.
yeah, and back in the day when I had the sign shop, I would get a bag, and I couldn't wait to get the next bag. I mean,
Yeah, it's like you're thinking about it while you're eating it.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then
Mm-hmm.
driving down the road, and it's trying to pull you in to get it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a true addiction, and to this day, it still does that.
Yeah.
So, I haven't given into it. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like
I've been,
giving into smoking. People are like, oh, well, everybody keeps telling me it's moderation. I'm like, not when you're dealing with chemicals. I mean,
right.
if you would quit smoking, and I was like, well, you should just have a cigarette on the weekend or
Yep.
have a cheat cigarette once a week. Like,
Hmm.
food's the same way, and people don't classify it the same way.
Right. Because diet
Yeah.
doesn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah.
Until somebody dies eating fruit, and then it's
Yeah.
all
Then
diet.
it's really scary.
Yeah.
I even got messages from people too, and they're like, just FYI. And I said, tons of more people die on the standard American diet every day.
Yeah.
Then they're
Millions.
like, yeah, then they're like, oh. And like I'm being snotty. I'm like, I'm not,
Mhm.
I'm just spitting fact. But
Right.
yeah, but often they just don't want to hear it. And
that's it too.
when we talk about, I have it up on the screen right now, is that there are diets that instructs the person to give up all carbohydrates, such as fresh fruit and vegetables, and eat only protein, such as cooked meat. And that results in protein poisoning, metabolic disturbance, mental confusion, lack of emotional poise, and liver and kidney damage. And it's incidentally, it's just such a diet that was used by ancient Chinese to break down the emotional resolve and mental health of their captured prisoners. And most weight loss diets make the same nutritional mistake that leads to emotional problems. They ignore the difference between refined carbohydrates, which supplies incomplete calories and little or no vitamins or minerals, and unrefined carbohydrates, which have calories that provide essential nutrients. And also they recommend our reward foods. I often see that, like, you can have a cheat meal or a cheat food, and that would then be a small slice of pie, a few vanilla wafers, some raspberry jam, etc. These types of foods are included in these diets to entice the person to stay on the diet. Like that is their reward. And to me, that's not working. And literally, he's allowed to have his cake and eat it too, although not with accompanying difficulties. What happens on many weight loss diets is that the dieters grow irritable, depressed, and confused. They deprive themselves of needed nutrients by filling up on low-calorie non-foods that contribute to nutritional imbalance. And non-foods is very heavy, very tough on your digestive system. So a lot of other things are going to happen then too. The nutrient deprivation and toxic byproducts created by these diets often produce drastic personality changes. It is not uncommon to hear the spouses of many dieters remark, "I'd rather have you fat and happy than the way you are now." Now, this doesn't happen when you are on a high fruit diet to detox, and even when you would eat your salad, of course, not with added oils. But often people, yeah, but I get so hungry. But we keep being stuck with this idea that we need to eat 3 times a day. And then they have a set amount of what they think they can eat at 3 times a day. But you eat until you're satisfied. You don't need to be hungry when you feel hungry and you want to eat something. You eat something. That could be a banana with and some dates or a handful of dates. Have a cup with washed grapes in the fridge, so you can just grab it when you feel the need to eat something. So it is not when we are healing or even losing weight or wanting to gain weight. It's not that we have to deprive ourselves from foods. I mean, there's enough to eat. That's why that list with the mucusless foods is so important. And by the way, on that list, it also shows the worst foods and what they do in your body. So I suggest anyone who is listening get that mucusless foods list. Don't go online and type in mucusless foods, because you often get the information that's not really working so well for you. Because people often think, oh, we only need to eat alkaline foods, but there is cooked food that is alkaline. And yeah, a cooked meal once in a while, sure. But a cooked meal every day will get you back to the same problems that you had before. And I've done it, and you know, I can't say it works the same for everyone, because I know Sarah and Gary, you probably eat cooked foods once in a while, don't you?
Yeah. Yep. Blanched is best. But yeah, I've cooked food.
Yeah, for
We
me,
had cooked food last night.
yeah, I had the day before yesterday, I still had some sweet potatoes, and I was like, okay, I need to eat them or throw them out. So I
I
just
do not eat cooked foods. Not right now. I have not had cooked foods in
very
months.
good,
Yeah.
Sarah. Great,
Yes.
great. That's why you said you'll feel great.
Oh yeah. I feel very good. And what's
Because
so
it,
funny is even if I sample, like when I'm cooking for my husband or something, yeah, it's an instant
Mm-hmm.
warning from my body of nope, we're not doing this no more.
oh my God, that's absolutely great.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
instant.
I did have some sweet potatoes. I didn't, I boiled them in a very little water, let them steam actually. And but afterwards, I can't say that I feel right. I feel kind of down and dehydrated. And it's never with a cooked meal for me. It never gives me energy. There's just no energy in it.
It's because your body's having to go into digestion mode. And even like there's nothing wrong with sweet potatoes. And I don't think, anything like that. I don't know if you should eat them every single day. But again, like, let me just say too, like, this is my journey, my experience, and what my body needs right now. I am not a doctor, nor am I even any kind of counselor. I just am here for this journey, and I do read and study a lot, but I use my own body as an example. And, this is what is working for me right now. And even my own research, this might take me 3 to 6 months for my body to still go through detox. And then after this, 3 to 6 months, then maybe my body will start working on the regeneration process and things like that too. I'm still having hair loss, which I have tons of hair though. I know we talked about that, but yeah, so I'm not like knocking anybody for having any of the cooked foods, but my body responds to it immediately. And when we're in digestion, it really does make us sluggish and tired and things like that. Think about after your Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, you can't even move, most people, because your body has to completely shut down and go into digestion mode.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And let me say one more other thing about the cheat days.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out with my husband, if he has, because he loves P.F. Chang's, when he had P.F. Chang's, it took his body almost 3 days to recover from that one meal.
Wow.
One meal. And people are like, have a cheat day. You can have a cheat day. I'm like, I don't know if I'd have a cheat day, maybe like a cheat meal. But if you think about if you have a cheat day, and if it took him 3 days to recover from one meal, by the time you move on to your next cheat day, your body still might have just now finished recovering. And now you're putting it back into recovery mode again.
Mm-hmm.
And now, granted, his cheat days are not like, oh, I'm going to go have a sweet potato. I mean, he's eating beef and broccoli from P.F. Chang's.
Mm-hmm.
So now he'll have like a cheat meal once a month. And because like even he learned from that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Once you detox and your body gets cleaner, let's say you do a 10-day cleanse, no solid food at all, just either master cleanse or fruits or juices or whatever. When you go back to eating food, try one thing at a time, because there may be an allergic reaction to that food, and because you've been eating other foods and just eating and eating and eating, you don't know that food is causing you an issue. It could be draining your energy. It could be causing inflammation. Once you get the body back into an alkaline state and you start adding that, you're going to feel whether that food is good for you or not. And a lot of people are afraid to detox because of that, because they don't want to give up that food. They want to go back to the diet that made them sick. And this is where your total awareness comes in. And we've had that happen with people in the group that they did a cleanse, and then they had, I don't know, something that they normally eat, and they had a reaction from it. Well, that's your body's, because it's clean, it can feel that, and you can feel that. Giving it up, that's the big thing. If you're like been doing it for a long time and you're kind of addicted to it mentally, physically, and emotionally. Finding the space to let go of that, the willpower to say, okay, I'm not going to have that anymore, and sticking to it. At first, it's really difficult, but you can do it. And it's not willpower. It's just, I don't want to be sick anymore. And if this is making me sick, I have to give it up. So it's kind of like the hot dog or the sour cream and onion Lay's potato chips or whatever it is, right? Or ice cream, or there are alternatives that we can do. If you want something crunchy, I did a video on organic popcorn. Well, it's not popcorn. You take celery and you chop it into little pieces and you wet it, and then you put salt on it, and you can eat celery and it's got the crunch. It's really good, and it's good for you. And you've got a low-calorie, crunchy meal at your teeth, and because that vibration in your mouth, that crunch, uh, needs to be fulfilled, especially for a lot of people. So there are alternatives to do, like with ice cream. You can have papaya with a little bit of chocolate in it and make it into an ice cream, or like the mixed berries, they're just frozen, and you can make them almost into a smoothie and have them that way. But there's all kinds of delicious, delicious alternatives that we can do to get us away from factory manufactured food under artificial lights in sterilized conditions by people who are there for a paycheck. It's not they don't have our best interests in mind. It's not like mom made this for me with love. No, it's made in total artificial everything. And those things are not good for our body because there's nothing in them that represents food. Those little ice cream bars that have like the brownie on top and bottom, ice cream in the middle. Well, when I was a kid, those things would melt because it was ice cream. You can take one of those now and open it up and set it on the coffee table, and a month later, it'll still look exactly the same, no matter how warm it gets in the house. That's not
It's
food.
all chemicals now.
Yes, not food. It tastes great, but it's not food. And it's not nourishing your body, and it's not nourishing your cells. And that's what's happening with a lot of the energy drinks. They make you feel a synthetic energy, but they're not feeding your cells. They're just like kicking your adrenals in because it's a poison. It's not a healthy drink. And that's what's happening, kicking your adrenals into passing gear all the time. And eventually you get fatigued because there's not enough energy because of the lack of nutrition, hydration, and oxygen to the cells. You start to lose your power. And your consciousness goes down with that. And the lower and lower it gets, the more easy it is to manipulate you through the system and keep you there. Because that's the goal. If you're not gasping for air, then you're an enemy of the system.
Okay, Gary, can we go back to
Yeah.
I always love to just let you talk because there's always so many great things that come out of your mouth.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And we all appreciate it so much. This was further going about diets, and it's actually also about the ego. It's like almost everyone is emotionally attached to the diet they follow. I've heard people who dine exclusively at fast food restaurants defend their diet with nutritional charts of French fries and chocolate malts. Meat eaters argue that humans are natural carnivores. People who follow a macrobiotic diet believe fervently that grains should be a major part of our diet. That is actually the diet that I did in my late teens and early 20s. And this is where my weight was really getting out of control and not understanding what I was doing wrong. But yeah, that was a lot of grains back then. I don't know if I ever, yeah, probably did. I was at one time and I was 22, 23, under a huge amount of stress with my relationship, and it was just horrible. And I gave up my healthy eating. What I thought was healthy, now we know it wasn't really. But I made it worse by adding fats and coffee and alcohol, which I never used. And it was, alcohol was the one drink that you have maybe with New Year's Eve. And it was around Christmas and New Year's Eve. So I stayed with a family member. I left my husband at the time and with a small child. and I ate whatever I wanted. And not long after that, I woke up one day and I was paralyzed. I have been paralyzed from the neck down. That is how my body responded to, that way of eating. It was like, and I figured out it had to be the food. It couldn't be anything else. And in the hospital, because I was taken to the hospital, they thought I was absolutely crazy, because that had nothing to do with what you ate, had nothing to do with what's happening with your body. So they tried to figure out all kinds of horrible diseases, if it was tropical or whatever, where I had been in it was there could be 11 reasons for that problem. I also had what they called erythema nodosum, which means painful red swellings all over not all over the body, but on arms and legs. I couldn't even handle sheets on it. And then being paralyzed. So I was not doing good in, at my young age. And being away from the stress and refusing all foods and all medication, I knew that even being for when I compare it now that young, and my body, healed. In 2 weeks, I could walk again, and I was like, I have to get out of here. I told them I'm going to leave, and they told me to never ever come back, because they were not going to help me if I didn't submit to their treatments. So that was my little story about the connection with bad foods and how your body can respond to it. My body just shut down. It was too toxic, and it want to get it all out. But yeah, macrobiotic diet. Sometimes I forgot the name, but that was what I've been on. That was one of the diets that you saw in the 60s. Didn't, 60s, 70s. It was very popular.
Yeah, fad diets.
Well, macrobiotic was not really about fats. We didn't eat any meat, but definitely ate rice and beans and grains, a lot of grains, and what was it? Veggies. And I
Yeah.
even, yeah, I even in my early 20s, I even worked at a macrobiotic restaurant, and I always worked there on a Thursday, and it was a restaurant that could hold about 40 people. But when I made my lentil soup, oh, we had easily 80 people there. Because
Mhm.
that was and it was just lentils and veggies and herbs and yeah, but no meat. But I can't remember about milk, because personally I didn't drink any milk, so I didn't use it. But yeah.
No, I was saying fad, like FADE, fad diets.
Okay.
Because,
Oh yeah. Yeah, you see that as a fat diet, macrobiotic diet for them?
well,
No.
it doesn't mean it's right for your body.
No, no, absolutely not. But
That's
I think that we now learned what is right for the body, because it was a difficult time, with being so well, overweight, and I was easily 40, 50 pounds overweight. Well, what is overweight? I was told that my weight should be a certain amount of pounds, and yeah, if you're 50 over that certain amount, I don't even want to be that skinny at all. And I still could lose. Well, I could, like I could lose quite a few pounds, and it goes up and down.
hmm
And I'm like, but I like what Sarah explained with finding the balance, and the balance is different for everyone. We can only show people, guide people through certain ways of eating, but definitely learn to listen to the body. There's nothing more important than that. And yeah, know what kind of foods are good for you, and what that's why that mucusless diet, it also has all the really mucus forming foods listed there, the meats and how bad it is. And I do have, when I would eat something that my body rejects, actually, I have mucus forming right away. I don't know how that is with you guys, but if it is, spicy and it has some, then I have mucus right away. It's not old mucus coming out, really, it's you eat and you can feel the mucus coming up already, then that food is a big no-no. So be aware if that happens to you with whatever you eat, and absolutely listen to your body. So, but going on to go further with what they say here, it's like each group is intensely emotional about the diet they adopt. And in a way, we are too.
Hmm.
Yeah, they believe that they exclusively are correct and they have a lot of personal pride invested in their chosen diet. This is especially true of people who have actually taken the time to investigate the effect of diet on health. When they finally discover their diet, they often become blinded to reason. And honestly, I really had that with the medical medium diet. I was like, that was it. That was in, but after a year and a half, I got sicker as ever. As it was just at the worst. I had to realize that I had been wrong, and that is exactly what they say here. Each group is intensely emotionally about the diet they adopt. I thought that was it. And then when we learn about Dr. Morse, we find out, how we can heal. And no, we're not supposed to really get blinded with this is it, because that is where people come in. It's like Dr. Morse says, oh, fruit, berries, and melons for healing. He doesn't talk a lot about, afterwards maintaining. And well, this is where we come in and we can share our experiences and what certain foods do, but you still have to figure it out yourself, what works for you. And they say here they embrace their new diet as a mother clutches her newborn, and they will defend it with as much emotion, though scarcely with as much reason. This is not to imply that there is no optimum diet. Most certainly, a best diet does exist, and it is the one that promotes physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual health better than all others. Such a diet, however, can only be recognized and evaluated when we divest ourselves of passionate emotion and self-infested ego. This is very difficult to do. We're all attached to our personal ideas and theories. We all like to believe that we are right. No one likes to realize that he has been mistaken about a cherished belief, be it political, religious, or nutritional. And I can tell you, I felt quite embarrassed that I had been promoting to friends and families that medical medium diet back then. So, but I got over it. I learned more, and I don't feel bad talking about it now because it can only make people aware. So, yeah, personal experience and education can help us choosing the proper diet, difficult as it may seem. However, we must approach the idea of optimal nutrition with a few preconceptions and prejudices as possible. Only when we are mentally and emotionally clear, we will be able to recognize the correct path to the proper diet and indeed proper living. Yeah, I don't know if you guys, I think we're gonna have a part 3 too.
Yeah, sounds good. Remember, I'm not going to be here next week. But,
Oh, you're not gonna be here next week.
right.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna miss you.
Well, I'm going to miss being here, but um, I'm just trying to raise capital for Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
We need to
So
do like a GoFundMe thing.
that would be awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to do that stuff, but hopefully, when I go to Quartzsite and I do the Qigong and breath work down there, I'll get donations and that will help. And I can be down there and live, in BLM land and do the Qigong and stuff and hardly spend any money, because my Social Security will start adding up. So that's my plan. donations.
Gary, were
Yep.
you in the military at all?
Yep, 10 years.
Okay.
How
Okay.
long? 10 weeks or 10 years?
Years.
10 years.
Oh my gosh.
Were
Yep,
you
I
in
was,
were you in any of the wars?
no,
Mhm.
no. I was in during the war times,
Okay.
and we're looking into and I don't believe that I qualify for any military benefits. But we're looking into it just in case. Um,
I'm a really good resource for that, so reach out.
okay. Yeah, I've got the here in Colorado, the VA working on it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's an outreach program here, Project Outreach, and they said they might be able to get me $100 to $150 a month,
Yep.
and
Absolutely.
but I have to have my paperwork, and evidently I left it in Maine because I remember using it for my hotspot for my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me a military discount, but I had to have that paperwork.
Yep.
So now I can't find it. So they're
Mm.
they're researching, trying to find it now, and hopefully before we go to court site, they'll have found that,
Yeah.
and I can go to outreach and at least get $150 a month.
Yep.
From them.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's another way because Gary is absolutely amazing with doing EFT.
Mm-hmm.
And you can order an EFT emotional freedom technique session on my website. The website is toniweel.com, TONIWEEL.com. And I don't know if I still have it numbered, but you will find the EFT sessions. And that is completely personalized to your issues. And I'm missing the word now. It was, oh yeah, intuitive. Gary is very intuitive with what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make sure that it's all recorded, and you will be the only one who gets the recording. It's not being published anywhere, not on YouTube, but you get that personalized or personal video, so you can always use it. And EFT can help you really well with overcoming negative, I see it just on my screen, methods for overcoming negative emotional conditioning. But it can help you with trauma. It can help you with fears, with so many things. And I would really, it will help you change how you look at things, how you do things. And we have done a few that were public, and of course we asked people their permission for that. And they all say that they feel lighter afterwards, from crying before to feeling lighter after the session. And you can use that same session over and over, and it's definitely very helpful. I would suggest everyone, if you feel you need it and it would be valuable for you, is to book a session with us for that. So
Absolutely.
that was promoting Gary.
Yes. Well, all of us, because
Yeah,
we're a team.
we are, and I would like to promote my services. I do one-on-one sessions with you. 30 minutes is rather short if you have a deep issue that you want to overcome. Because we have things that we were diagnosed with that are absolutely horrible, and then 30 minutes won't work. You need 60 to 90 minutes. I'm still working on a program where I can guide you for 3 or 6 months and guide you through the whole healing part, but I haven't set that up yet, but that will be coming. And you can find all of that, even the iridology part, because I do that too. And it is it's like the window to your health. So if you wonder why you were sick, what is going on in your body, iridology will absolutely help you with getting a clearer picture of what you need to do. For me, it was very good because I learned about certain things that were going on in my body that I had absolutely no clue about. So it's always good to do that, and you will find that too. ToniWeel.com is a forward on the internet, so it may not work for everyone, but if you use heal.me/Toni Weel, then you get there too. So the links are all in the description. And we would love to hear from you. So I think I haven't even checked. I'm going to stop the share, and I know that next time we just start at 4. So stopping it now. And I haven't checked if there are any questions yet. No.
I did
And
look, and there was no
another
question.
thing, everyone, is that you can interact with us. If you have a question and you are on live, because it won't work, after the live ended, but you can chat with us. You can, if you have questions about anything, it doesn't even have to, if it's related to your health, not anything, but really anything related to your health, put it in the chat and we'll answer it. Because I would love to see an lively chat, and even if you want to be live on to tell your story, you can do that too. I just need to send you the Zoom link.
And we love hearing from everybody, and we learn a lot from other people too. And sometimes the question you're wanting to ask is other people have the same questions. I mean, it's just like it was in school, don't sometimes somebody can't call in to ask their question, but they have that question that they need answered. So everybody is helpful. We may be a team where we work together, but you all are part of our team too. So we enjoy it all. And I don't, at this time, I don't offer any services or anything, but I post every so often over on Facebook, not too often anymore. And Katie and I have done our podcast over on the Virtuous Unicorns YouTube channel, but that's very related to our, it's called Understanding the Bible and how it has changed our lives. And we really hope to be getting that back online too. And so much of that for us started through the food. I remember I couldn't even read the Bible. I opened it up, and even though it was in English, it was a complete foreign language to me. I did not understand it. But my whole life has changed once I started changing my diet and what I put in my mouth. And then now I won't even really scroll on social media. I won't do that stuff. I'm just so aware and so conscious of where my energy goes now. And from that, then I was able to start understanding the Bible now. So it's no longer, understanding means like you're under something, where when you understand something, you know it from within. And so that's what we do. And hopefully we'll eventually get that back up and rolling too one day.
That would be great, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Katie is going to be really busy still the few months. She let me know this morning. She will listen to this later when she can, but we look forward to have her back on. Okay, guys, we almost reached the bottom of the hour, and I want to wish everyone a very happy day with lots of love and sunshine and smiles, and till the next time.
Yep. We'll miss you next time, Gary. And Katie, we miss you.
Well, I'll be there in spirit.
Yes. All right, everybody. Thank you. Wonderful show.
Yep. Love it.